the Silk Road. 700 years after Marco Polo, there's a superhighway across the Central Asian steppe to China. Kazakhstan, once a Soviet republic, is forging an alliance with the world's most dynamic economy. Chinese exports roll into Korgos dryport, they get switched onto Kazakh track, and can be in Europe in half the time it takes by sea. If you look on a world atlas, this is one of the most inaccessible, the most remote places on Earth. And yet it is now a key strategic gateway. If you want to know what the Chinese mean by one belt, one road, well, this is it. On the Kazakh-Chinese border, an extraordinary new city is taking shape. It's a free trade zone with plans for casinos, theme parks and shopping malls, the Vegas of the steppes. Nursultan Nazarbayev has been Kazakhstan's president for 27 years. He's an autocrat. He wins elections with 97% of the vote. In his shiny new capital, Astana, the president has created an international financial center. Here, British judges, using British common law, have been hired to convince foreign investors it's a safe place for their money.
What I can say is the absolute robust integrity of our judges. They would not stay here if there was not a genuine commitment to strict adherence to the rule of law.
But some old Soviet habits die hard. Last month, paramilitary police broke up small protests calling for the release of political prisoners. Dissent in Kazakhstan is dangerous. I arranged to meet one of the country's most outspoken opposition politicians. We followed him out of his city, Almaty. After 4 years in prison, he prefers to talk away from prying eyes.
For the president, any form of dissent constitutes a crime against the state. So he removes all players from the political landscape who do not support his position and policies. Nazarbayev himself has never moved on from the Soviet period.
The problem with one-man rule is always the succession. For President Nazarbayev's ministers, it is a sensitive subject.
I very much hope will continue to run this country if he wishes, and he will undoubtedly receive the overwhelming above-mentioned majority of votes. We will make sure that all these
So you basically, your message to me is don't think about what happens next, because he's going to keep running and running and running.
It's up to him. It's up to him, and it's up to our people. And I'm quite confident they are proud of their president.
For 27 years, Kazakhs have put stability before freedom. But time is now catching up with their veteran president. Economic transformation is well underway. Political reform has barely begun. Stephen Saka, BBC News, Almaty.